discovered something about myself recently that I did not know. I discovered that I am a workaholic. Haven't always been a workaholic. I think it's much easier to be a workaholic when you love your job, which I do. But before this, when I had a proper job and I worked in an office Monday to Friday, I was not a workaholic. I was very happy at 5 o'clock to go, bye, fuck the lot of you. But I read an article about workaholics by a man called Oliver Berkman, and he said people are workaholics for one of two reasons. Either they're hiding away from something at home, or they have nothing else going on in their lives. And I realised quite sadly that I fell into the latter category. I had my job, but I didn't really do or have anything else. One of the remedies he suggested to fix this, he said, actively create meaning elsewhere. And that's what I decided to do over the last 12 months, and that is what my show is about. Now, the first thing I decided to do, I decided to buy a house. I'd lived in the same rented city centre flat in Manchester for the last 6 years, and I really wanted somewhere, I wanted a house, I wanted to settle down. I wanted a house mostly because I'd lived in flats for 16 years, and I really missed going upstairs to bed. Not through the fucking kitchen. Upstairs to bed. But I was sitting only a few weeks ago, quite smugly, upstairs in bed, thinking, this is the life, I've arrived, I'm upstairs in bed. And then I thought, shit, now I've got to go downstairs for food. But what I wanted was somewhere that makes me feel the same way my parents' house makes me feel. They've lived in the same house since they got married 47 years ago. Exactly, and this is what I wanted. I wanted somewhere that I could build memory after memory after memory. Now, I was there sort of late summer last year with my sister, the four of us just sitting around with cups of tea around the kitchen table, putting the world to rights. It was lovely. And at the exact same moment, my sister and I both heard the ice cream man. And it was like no time had passed. No words were exchanged between my sister and I. She shot me a look that said, do you want one? And I shot back a look that said, of course I fucking do. She picked up her purse and she ran out of the house. When she came back in, she told me there'd be no children anywhere near the ice cream man, just a 44-year-old woman running towards it. He'd started to pull away. She had to flag him down. And as she flagged him down, he shouted out of the window, come on, missus, you can do it. She came back in with 3 ice creams, one for me, one for her, and one for me dad, because my mum doesn't really like sweet things. And she said, where's dad gone? Because my dad was no longer in the room. I said, he's gone to the toilet. Now, I don't know what your dads are like, but my dad can lose a good 20 minutes, half an hour in there. So she started to sort of lick her ice cream and kind of tidy his, do you know what I mean? Licking hers normally, but then spinning this one round. She was like a fucking machine, licking and tidying, licking and tidying, licking and tidying. This one started to get quite small, and I said, oh, that's not fair on Dad. And she said, well, what do you want me to do about it? I said, I think you should take it to him while he's on the toilet. And she said, well, if I'm going, you're coming with us. So we go upstairs together. Mum and Dad's toilet is separate from their bathroom. And I said to my sister, before you go any further, you must promise me one thing. She said, what's that? I said, you must promise me that when you open that door, you keep your eyes tight shut, because you will never be able to unsee what you are about to say. She promised. She knocked on the door. My dad said, come in, like it was an office. And with her eyes tight shut, she opened the door and handed in an ice cream. And my dad said, I cannot take that. And we thought, quite rightly, because eating ice cream while you're doing this shit is disgusting, isn't it? But my dad said, I'm reading the paper, my hands are full. But my parents have always lived near a park, and I'd always been able to see a tree out of my bedroom window, so that became another priority. I wanted to see a tree out of my bedroom window. Didn't give a shit if it was on a fucking roundabout, just a tree. But it became very clear early on that I'm not massively suited to country living, having lived in the city centre for so long. I drove along a lovely country lane, and I saw a white marquee tent. And instead of thinking, oh, somebody's having a lovely summer party, I just thought, oh, someone's been murdered. One of the houses I looked at was owned by a couple who were getting divorced. It was very sad. And it was the husband who was showing me around. And I'd realised what was going on straight away, and I decided just to go through it very quickly because it was clearly painful for both of them. Now, I don't know if you've ever been shown around a house or have shown somebody around your house, but there's a degree of stating the obvious involved, isn't there, when they say things like, this is the kitchen. I know. I mean, I call it the biscuit room, but whatever. This is the living room. Yeah, it's another biscuit room. upstairs to a closed door and he said, this is the master bedroom. I said, great. He said, I'd love to show you in there, but I can't. I said, oh, why not? He said, I can't show you in there because there's a lady crying in there. Which is sad, but also quite an unusual way of describing his wife, when potentially he's the reason she's crying in the fucking first place. But I said to him, look, I'm divorced myself. I understand what you're going through. I know that this is horrible for both of you and you just want to get it over and done with so you can both move on with your lives independently. I understand. You have my total sympathy. You really do. But I also know that you can cry in the bathroom, so fucking move her. Now, the house I looked at was owned by a really posh lady, so I already hated her. That's terrible, isn't it? I'm not supposed to hate anybody. I only hate posh twats. It's fine. I was going to say, have we got an in, but I've just remembered where I am. Yeah, you're all clapping. There'll be a couple of people at the back from Jesmond going, actually, there are posh people in tonight. This posh lady was very dramatic in all of her gestures. She said to me, there is underfloor heating throughout. I said, that doesn't impress me, love, I've got slippers. And then as if to hammer it home, she said, there isn't a single radiator in the whole building. And I, because sometimes my mouth kicks in before my brain's had a chance, just said, well, how'd you dry your knickers then? And the friend that I was with said, just chuck them on the floor. I found a house that I liked and I got a survey done and the survey came back and it meant nothing to me at all. But luckily I've got a friend who's a builder and he said, let me have a look at it and I'll put it into layman's terms for you. I said, smashing. Now give us a cheer if you own your own home. Give us a cheer if you rent. See, up until this point I'd only ever rented and I think there are phrases that mean nothing to those of us who rent that the rest of you understand. Because my friend, the builder, said, there is one thing you will need. I said, oh yeah, what's that? He said, you'll need a damp-proof course. And I genuinely said, I haven't got time to go to college. But the house that I bought had a log burner. I've never had a log burner before. I got quite excited about the log burner. Not as excited as my fella did. He just went, oh my God, we'll be able to get a toasting fork. We'll be able to toast things. And I thought, he does know I've got a toaster, doesn't he? But I went straight out. He went to work, I went straight out and bought a toasting fork. And I came back in, I grabbed a loaf of bread and I thought, I'm just going to sit and work my way through. I fucking love toast. But I couldn't get it to work. And I rang him and I said, I can't get it to work. He said, how can it not work? It's fire and bread. And I told him what I'd been doing. Turns out I should have had the little door open. Might as well have been lying slices of bread on top of me radiators. Are in amongst me knickers on the underfloor heating. Oh, you're right, that's probably too much yeast altogether, isn't it? But when I moved from the flat to the house, I had bits and bobs of furniture, not much, but I had some stuff, and I was trying to work out what would best go where. And I said to me fella, God, I wish I had a tape measure. He said, what do you need a tape measure for? I said, I just want to know if that unit will fit in that alcove. And he said, well, I can sort that out for you. I said, I don't want you to move it. He said, no, I can work it out for you. And I said, have you got a tape measure? He said, no, but I've just got like an instinct about these things. And I thought, fucking instinct. Let's have a look at your instinct, pet. And I said, go on then. So this is genuinely what he did. He went like this. Yeah, that'll fit. I said, is that it? You could at least got your cock out and done 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches. They are still alive. I will check again tomorrow. But they are house cats. They don't go outside. They will go outside at some point, but I'm sort of nervous. I'm nervous for their safety, but also I'm a little bit worried about what they might bring back in with them. I know this is a thing that cats do. Have we got cat owners in tonight? Yeah. Quite a few of you. Now, I know that whatever they bring in, be it a mouse or a bird, if it's still alive, I'm to try and catch it and put it back in the garden. And if it's dead, I'm to put it in the outside bin. That's fine. But what I don't know is what I'm supposed to do if whatever they bring in is still a little bit... twitchy. Has this happened to any of you? Oh, nearly all of you. This is horrible. Let's get some suggestions what you think I should do. Let's start at the top. So anybody in the top section got a suggestion what I should do with a half-dead animal? Shout out.
Put a bucket over it.
Put a bucket over it.
Have you done that, love?
Yes.
Yes. What animal was it?
A bird and a mouse and a rat.
A bird and a mouse and a rat at the same time? Like a tiny little rubbish zoo. So are these all separate occasions?
Separate.
Yes, and so you put the bucket over it until...
The husband came home.
Oh, until your husband came home. We've got a feminist in, girls. And then what did he do?
Luckily they all died.
Luckily, they'd all died. That is the best sentence I've heard in ages. We should all start adding that on to the end of all of our stories. Luckily, they all died. Good answer, lady upstairs. Anybody in the next section down got a suggestion what I should do with a half-dead animal?
Hit it with a spade.
Hit it with a spade. He didn't even have to think of that, did he? Just hit it with a spade. Hit it with... have you done that, love?
Yes.
Yes. Was it definitely an animal? Haven't got a couple of ex-wives in your garden or anything? Anybody else in that section? CPR. Oh, the rest of you feel like such shits now. CPR. Have you done that?
Yes.
Yes. What animal was it, love?
Cat.
It was a cat. Either option 1, she has not understood the question. Option 2, her cat brought in another cat. I'm going to go with option 2 because that feels awesome to me. Anybody in the next section down got a suggestion what I should do with a half-dead animal?
Give it back to us so we can finish it off.
Give it back to the cat, so we can finish it off. And when you say finish it off, all right, sorry, you mean eat it? Okay, sorry, I wasn't. One tiny final wank. A cat couldn't even do that because they don't have that kind of hands. It'd have to do it with its paws. Well, you've just made me mime a cat wanking off a mouse. Dirty bastards. So you mean give it back to the cat so the cat can eat it? I like that idea because that feels like good parenting, doesn't it? Because it's like, finish your tea or you're not playing out. I like it, it's good. Anybody else in that section?
Put it on YouTube.
Put it on YouTube? Oh, we've got a young one in. How old are you, Flower?
25.
25. Get out. Fuck off. Look around you, love. You don't belong. That was so much fun. Sorry. Being rude to young people, you should try it. It's awesome. Next level down. So are you the grand circle? Is that what you the grand circle? It's a lady there like, yes, we're grand. Okay. So the grand circle, anybody got a suggestion what to do with a half-dead animal? Bash it with a hammer. Fuck, where are you from? The felon? I love that there's a lady cheering that I've just implied that she's from the felon because you're clearly from the felon. Yeah! We bash things with hammers. Anybody else in that section?
Chuck it over next door.
Chuck it over next door. Anything that stops you having to talk to your neighbours. Good answer, thank you very much. Anybody in the boxes or downstairs got a suggestion?
Well, kid, you give it as a bait.
Hold on. We're coming back to you. Say that again, love.
Because you know it's still fresh.
Put it in a pie because you know it's still fresh. That's clearly all he's bothered about. Is it fresh? Yeah, well, I'll eat it. Doesn't matter what the fuck it is. Have you done that? With you've had chips with it as well? Oh, and what kind of animals have you put in pies?
Nothing exciting, just a pigeon.
Nothing exciting, just a pigeon.
Pussy pie's nice.
Wowzers. You actually went there, didn't you? He's doing that with his arm as well, like he's a fucking winner. Something tells me by how mortified your girlfriend is that you're not going to get any of that for a while. So pie, and there was another one at the back. Shout again.
Put it in a cage and keep it as a pet.
Keep a half-dead animal as a pet. Have you done that?
It was fine, it came back to life all right.
Oh, what animal was it?
It was a vole.
It was a vole. The lady at the front is a big fan of fucking voles. Finally, somebody mentions voles. How long have I fucking been here? Nearly half an hour. Nobody's done any vole jokes yet. And how long did it live?
It lived for about a month and then it escaped.
You know why it escaped? Because it's a fucking wild animal. It didn't escape, it went home. Anybody else downstairs? Give it to the dog to chew on. So I've got to get a dog now. What do I do with the stuff the dog brings in? Give it to your horse. Fucking hell. This is going to get out of hand. See, I asked this question when I was working in Australia last year, and I would occasionally shit myself. I'd slightly forget I was in Australia. And when people would say things like lizards, I would think, fucking lizards? I didn't know this might happen. Tiny dinosaurs, because that's what they are. One lady said, my cat brings in half-dead lizards. And I said, what do you do? She said, I take them to the vet, and then after a week I go back and check up on them. I said, well, what happens when you go back and check up on them? She said, well, the vet always says, I managed to revive them, and I've released them back into the wild. And I thought, oh, bless your cotton socks for fucking believing that, love. They must see her coming, mustn't they? Oh, fuck, it's lizard woman again. With a bag of half lizards. Expecting us to match them all up. Shoehorn, that's what she wants. But you know, some people are tricky to buy for birthdays and things. If you have somebody in your life like this, then listen up, this next thing might be useful for you. We've got a birthday rule. Our birthday rule is that if it's your birthday, you get to make all of the decisions all day for both of you. So my fella's last birthday, his first decision, he said, I want a lie-in. Excellent, happy with that. We had a lie-in. Second decision, he said, I want a sausage sandwich, which was not the euphemism I was hoping it was. I was all like, should I be the bread? Oh, you're putting the grill on. Okay. Third decision, he wanted to go to Warwick Castle. Now, I'm sure some of you may well have been to Warwick Castle. I'm sure the castle part of it is an absolute delight. We didn't get to do that bit. The only bit he wanted to do was the dungeon. He likes reading horror stories. He likes watching horror films. I don't like any of that sort of thing. I don't like being scared. I'm not a massive fan of the dark, if I'm brutally honest. I'm a bit of a wuss. And I thought this whole experience is going to be horrible for me. But birthday rules, we have to go. So we go to Warwick Castle, and at the door to the dungeon is a man. And the man has fake blood on his face and hands and is dressed in some sort of costume. And being a little claustrophobic as I am, I thought this is about to include two of the things I hate the most. Enclosed spaces and fucking actors. Because it wasn't like a museum. It wasn't just glass cases with things in to look at and little bits of writing that you don't bother reading because it's boring. It wasn't like that. It was properly interactive. Every room had a different scenario. There were volunteers required throughout, and there was always a chance that somebody was going to jump out and frighten the living shit out of you. Now, I knew I was going to hate it, and it was proved right as soon as we started to walk in. Now, one thing to point out as well, I guess these tours normally have 10 or 12 or 15 people on them all going around as one. I don't know why, maybe just because it was a Tuesday, but it was only two of us. So every time they needed a volunteer, it was me or him or both of us. And also, it was the final tour of the day. We'd overheard a couple of the actors talking outside, saying that if we hadn't turned up, they would have all been able to go home an hour early. So they already didn't really like us. Now, we go down the stairs at the beginning, and I already hate it because it's dark, it smells funny, and there's the walls are kind of running with water. It's horrible. Birthday rules, we have to do it, though. Now, we go into the first room. The first room is quite well lit. It's not too bad. It's a courtroom, and there's a man playing a judge, and just me and my fella. We are both tried. I was tried for being a witch. Rude. And he was tried for weighing in a well. Apt. We are both sentenced to death, which I thought was a little harsh. But I thought, if it's all like this is going to be okay. Now, how wrong you can be. You go into the next room. The next room is completely pitch black. So dark you can't see your hand in front of your face. And it's also completely silent. Now, I'd been linked into my fella holding on for dear life. Somebody came up behind us who we couldn't see and just unravelled us and separated us, put him over the other side of the room. So I couldn't see him, I couldn't touch him, but every now and again I could hear him say, "You're going to be all right, you're going to be all right." Because he knew the state I was getting myself into, already starting to shake quite a bit. Now, they left us in the darkness and the silence for about a minute, and then a bright white light flashed, and an old lady screamed in my face. I don't know which bit of history that's supposed to represent, but it felt very much like Christmas with me nana. We go in another couple of rooms. They're quite scary, but not too bad. One of the scariest parts of the whole experience is just a corridor between one room and the next. But it was dimly lit, and there were horrific things everywhere we looked, until we realised halfway along that they were mirrors. At one point, I'd whispered to my fella, "That monster's got my top on." We go in the final room. The final room is a hospital room. There is a bed with a body on it, and the body I've already clocked is a dummy, so it doesn't mean it can't move, but at least it's not going to jump out at me. And a man walks in and addresses us both. And he says, "I'm not the doctor." So I went, "Okay." Then he went, "The doctor died of the plague." Ah. Then he went, "I'm the cook." And I thought, "Ooh, snacks." Apparently not. He said, "I'm the cook and I'm replacing the doctor because I'm the only other one who knows about anatomy." So I just went, "Promotion, well done." And he walked forward and he stood just in front of me. And he was so close to me, I could feel his breath on my face. And he looked at me and he said, "You don't look very well." And I crumpled. "I've just got a bit of a cold." And then he said, "I think you need some treatment." "I'm taking dinners, and I've got some tunes in my handbag. Why don't you do it to him? It's his birthday." And then he said, "I think you need an operation." "Happy birthday to you, you shit!" He took me by the hand, he sat me on a seat, and he pulled around us both a very thin, white muslin curtain. We are within the curtain. My fella is on the outside of the curtain. We are now the show. My fella is the only audience member. This whole fucking thing is just for him. The cook pulls out a knife, this sort of size, maybe like a dagger, and he shows it round the front of the curtain so my fella can see it really clearly. He brings it back round again, and he presses a button on the chair behind me, which is the sound effect of a woman screaming. Pulls out another knife, maybe like a machete, this sort of size, and again he shows it round the front of the curtain so my fella can see it. Brings it back round again, presses another button of a woman screaming. Now, by this stage, I am physically shaking from head to toe. My palms are sweaty, and I feel quite sick. But all I can think is, I wonder what we're going to do for my fucking birthday.